I think when it comes to hiking and through hiking, there is no set gear list. There is no ultimate kit. You can't just look at someone that, you admire or want to be like and copy their every piece of gear and have that work for you. Though I think you can take inspiration from people. Certainly in the past I've taken inspiration from the likes of Scott Williamson and Tattoo Joe. People that ultimately inspired me to, be what I am now. I don't think if I were to have copied their gear list exactly and copied what they did and what they used exactly, I don't think I would have been successful. At least certainly not early on. Though looking at what they used and trying to understand why they used it and how it fit a certain situation or a certain trail, I learned a lot from that. And though what they were using for the Pacific Crest Trail looked very, very different compared to what they were maybe using on the Florida Trail or the Appalachian Trail, I can still look at their gear and what they used and try and adapt that type of stuff to what I would enjoy. There is no ultimate gear list, and there is no true right way or wrong way to do any of this. I think it really comes down to just what is fun for you, what makes backpacking enjoyable. When you set out into the woods for 24 hours, or you're going out for a long weekend, an entire week, an entire month, or maybe you're through hiking a long distance trail that's going to take you 3 to 6 months. It's all about just what is fun for you. Is it the challenge of carrying less and being happy and comfortable with less? Are you a minimalist? Maybe in a lot of ways like I am, that it's oftentimes less about the weight and more about just having less things to keep track of. Maybe you're into hiking with other people and certain pieces of gear, carrying a frisbee or carrying a 2-person tent or carrying a spare hammock even though you already have a shelter. Maybe that's what's fun for you. I've seen people carry an entire cutting board and like a half-gallon size cook pot and an entire spice kit, and every night out on the Appalachian Trail they would go around to all the other hikers that they're camping nearby and offer to add some veggies that they packed out, to add some spices, see if they could spice up everyone else's meals. That was fun for them. For a long time I've carried a yo-yo on my hiking trips. Both it's fun and also it helps me get more miles. It doesn't weigh much and it doesn't take up space, so it kind of checks all the boxes for me. But when preparing for a trip like this, certainly it's good to look at what others have carried and what others have used in these certain environments and situations and a specific time frame during a specific region. But ultimately I try and find my own path pretty much every time. I break out all of the gear that I own. I lay it all out on the floor or in the grass, in my car, in the living room, wherever I can. And I go through it one by one. I look into the weather and if it's going to be cold, if it's going to be warm, how cold is it going to be, how warm could it be? And I ask myself, what would I be comfortable with during those temperatures? Am I going to want a 40-degree sleeping bag, a 30-degree, or a 20-degree? Am I going to want no insulating layer? Am I going to want a fleece, or Do I want to carry an entire puffy jacket? Is this a very remote trail that I'm going to be hiking on, where finding help may be a difficult thing to come across? And maybe I want to be more self-sufficient? Maybe I want to take less risk because ultimately I'm in a risky place already? Or am I hiking a trail that's nearby roads, nearby towns, not very far between civilization, and maybe I can carry a little bit less and get away with a lot more risk? How far away is the water? Is there bugs? Am I going to be hiking exposed ridge lines? Am I hiking in the desert where it's going to be dry the entire way, or am I hiking on the East Coast where it's going to be wet? These are all questions that I ask myself every single time. And this is ultimately why I do a gear list video and share it for pretty much every trail that I've done. Because every trail is so different, and I come at it in such a different way. Sure, a lot of these hikes I carry the same stuff, but there's always differences, whether it's my insulation layers or something about my shelter. Hello? Maybe I'm carrying a little bit less, maybe I'm carrying a little bit more. Everybody is different, and every trail is different. I do these videos not to be a blueprint, not to show you that this is the best, that this is exactly 100% how you should do it. I do these videos more to show that, hey, this is what I like, this is what I use. I've been doing this for, quite a few years now. About 11,000 miles of hiking around the United States. Some stuff I've loved and I've used year after year after year. Some stuff I would replace in an instant. And other stuff I hope to never see again. This trip, however, is a little bit different. I'm headed out to Vermont, and I'm gonna do the Long Trail with my girlfriend Lotus. We're sharing a little bit of gear between the two of us, so hopefully both of our packs are a little bit lighter than maybe they otherwise would be. We did the Florida Trail together in 2020, but since then we haven't done a whole lot of long distance hiking. Which is both exciting to get to do this with her. She's a thru hiker herself, having hiked the Appalachian Trail and the Arizona Trail and the Florida Trail with me before. And, we both have our own styles and ways we like to do things, so it's also a little bit scary, to both be hiking together and have to cater to what one or the other wants, and try and find that middle ground of happiness where we are both enjoying it. Because we've tried to find a cheap flight, this hike we are on a little bit of a time crunch. We're going to be hiking the 270-mile long trail in 14 days, and we don't really have a choice. So, hoping for the best. Right now, we've both done everything that we can, prepared in the best ways we can. We both have very light packs going into this trip. We know the weather, we know the area, we know ourselves, and we're both just hoping for a good time and a successful hike. So here we are. In 2 days, we start our thru hike on the Long Trail through the Green Mountains of Vermont. It's to be seen, but I think we're both looking forward to maybe getting a little bit of fall colors. So, here goes.